Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I am having a fantastic day, and I've got some progress to show you. We had a live stream earlier today, and check it out. We've got some of the walls kind of in place. Oh, there goes the electrosound. Happens sometimes. But I've been working on getting some of the walls in place, and I want to kind of explain my thought process as to why we're already putting in the walls. So, adding in the walls and the roads, and we're going to start working on some of the roads today, along with some other stuff. Adding in walls and roads is kind of like drawing the out-of-bounds line, right? It's kind of like drawing your borders of where you're not allowed to build anymore. It's defining your spaces that you have to work with. Because if I say, okay, this area right here, this is going to be the residential area. Well, if I don't put the walls and the roads in, I might not have enough space. It's an important part of planning. The other thing, too, is that it really helps you kind of visualize where everything is supposed to go, right? It helps you visualize, like, oh, okay, so we're going to have this little chunk of the wall right here, and we could fit like a cool little building back in this corner and things like that. It just kind of helps you get things going. But I've made a lot of progress. This is probably about 5 hours of work getting in these walls, and this tower that we're standing on. I think I'm going to keep this one as a shorter tower. We've got the bigger towers over here for the main gate. But I think this third tower right here is going to be a little bit shorter, and it's just going to basically be the one level. Well, 2 levels if you count this little walkway. So what we have here is we've got our main entrance, right, that we started building last episode, and it's pretty much the same as it was. I cleaned up a couple little things. I added those little details up here to the top on all the sides, but for the most part, it's the same as it was. So you come in the main gate, and then we're going to have one road that goes off this way, right? And then we're going to have another road that splits off over here. And we'll have 3 towers, 1, 2, and 3, kind of overlooking this with walls on all sides. There'll be a gate here, and then a gate here. Or a portcullis, I should say. So this would be a very defensible location. If attackers were to come in and manage to break through this gate, they can come in here and try to break through these 2 gates, but they're going to be surrounded on all sides. The other thing, too, is that this gate's a little bit smaller than these larger ones, and this is the one that'll get you the closest to the keep the fastest, right? But what's going to happen is I've got this wall kind of built up to here, and right here, I may actually replace this with a tower. I'm not sure yet. But here, the wall is going to split and go straight this way. So this road that we're on right now is not going to go straight to the keep. It's going to kind of come over here, and then it's going to wrap around, and it's going to wrap around some more, and eventually it's going to hit a spot over here where you've got walls on either side for quite a distance. We'll probably have another gatehouse in here as well along the way, and eventually it'll come to a gatehouse right here and go up to the keep. So thinking about it from a defensive standpoint, it would be just a nightmare trying to get through all of those defenses if you were storming the castle. But anyway, what I want to work on in today's episode is I want to work on this little area. Stupid hole. I want to work on this little area right over here. So we need to finish off the gatehouses and figure out our gatehouse designs. I mean, obviously it's not going to look like this. We need to finish this off, and I want to get the roads figured out as well, as far as what kind of a road pattern we're going to use, how it's going to look, and all that kind of stuff. And then add some other little details to this kind of entranceway, this first bailey, right? And this may even be considered like a barbican and not a bailey. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into some building here. We need to get this figured out first. And I think the sun is already setting. Man, time flies when you're having fun. It seems like I just slept moments ago. That's okay. So let's grab a little bit of this stone brick here. We're just going to build as much as we can until the sun comes up. And let's just kind of do something like this. Now, we have to be a little bit careful, right? Because we don't want that spruce up there to be visible. We also need to make sure we leave enough room that the portcullis could actually open, right? You don't want to have a portcullis... sleep, 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 go to sleep. There we go. You don't want to have a portcullis here and say the portcullis stops at this level, right? So that would mean it would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. There's not really enough room for that up in there. So we need to make sure that when the portcullis is raised, there's actually enough room for it to fit, just for the sake of realism. Otherwise, it's going to look very strange. So we've got that. I'm thinking we'll do a stone brick here and here. Over here, let's see, we brought that to right here. Let's bring that down, put a stair there and there. One of these things is not like the other. There we go. Stair. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Okay. And then here and here, we'll do something like that. And then this is where it's going to get a little tricky, I think. Let's get over here so I can actually see what I'm doing. So let's go like this. And maybe we just cap it off like so. Right? So then, let's see. That means we've got 1, 2... Not counting this upper level. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we want to make sure that the portcullis can actually fit, as I talked about before. So let's make some fences. Let's just do that. And make some sticks. And that'll be enough for now, I think. So let's see. Stand on the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then, actually, we need to make sure that this comes down all the way. Otherwise, it's not gonna... It wouldn't actually be a functional gate. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if it was all the way down. So I think that will do. Or at least it's kind of going to have to do. So we'll go like that. Oh, really? Is it going to have to go all the way down to here? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would drop 2. That would put it... Yeah, that'll work. We'll put it like right here. And then I'm thinking like right about here. We'll go stair, stair. Stair, stair. And then we'll put some slabs right along there. Right, so we've got a portcullis kind of like this. And it's not perfect, but it works. It's a start. And I think it'll work out pretty well. I'll probably put some dispensers down here as well, like the little grates that the portcullis would fall into. But I think that's pretty good. Now, this gate right here is going to be identical to that one. So that makes deciding how this one's going to look very, very easy. Because all we need to do is copy that. So let me get that done, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. There we go. So this one is in place. This one is in place, and I think they look pretty good. We can add a little bit of extra detail, I think, by maybe doing something like that. Does that look a little better? I don't think I like it right here. I think we'll get rid of those little stairs. But I do like these stairs right here. I think those look pretty good and add just a nice little detail. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, So that gate is worked out. Now we need to work out this one. And this one, I think I'm going to make a little bit differently. So I'm kind of thinking right here, we're going to put some stairs. Let's get rid of you. Put a stair here. You. Put a stair there. And then behind it, for this one, I think, let's just grab some smooth stone. I think back here, we're going to actually go like this. Can I? You can do it. Reach. There we go. You know what? Let's just do this. It'll be way easier. There we go. So we'll kind of come up and around, right? And we're basically just kind of covering up, adding like this background to the gate over here, which I think will look pretty good from the front. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Needs some detail, but we can do that. And then here, I think I'm going to put some slabs. Up here, we'll put in some stairs like so. And let's take a look. How does that seem? The arch is very emphasized. I think maybe what we want here, maybe we add in another arch. Well, not so much an arch as like a thing coming across right there to kind of break that up a little bit. How does that look? That looks okay. What if we added in some walls right here? No, not so much. I'm really trying to avoid have it all just be flat stone brick like it is over here. But that might be what we have to do. Now here, we're going to have a portcullis again, right? So whatever we decide to do, we're going to have a little portcullis right here going up. And we've got plenty of space up there, so that'll be fine. Let's just bring you down like that. I lost some of my fences. Come back, you. There we go. So maybe we do this, and then here we maybe go like so. I hate to just... I'm just trying out a couple things. That's a really thick gate. I don't know that that's necessarily bad, though. I mean, maybe we beef this up a little bit. Let's try this. Let's try something a little bit different. Let's get rid of this. Like so. We'll put a stone brick here. And up here, let's just bring this whole top part up by 1 block, right? So we'd go stair, stair, slab, slab, slab. How's that gonna look? That's not bad. Because then what that would allow us to do, right? Then we don't need to have those here. And what we could do instead, or that one for that matter, that can be stone. That can be stone. And we can essentially do kind of the same thing that we did over there, where we have this kind of staggered thing, depth-wise. Let me see if I can get it worked out. All right, guys, I am back, and I think I've got it all worked out. I think this is good. We got the portcullis coming up. We got a little gatehouse here. Got a little portcullis gate over here, and this whole little area is not somewhere where you would want to be if you were someone storming the castle. That would just be a very Very bad idea. So I think the next step is to start getting some of the roads in place. So let's kind of clear a little bit of space over here. I'm not sure exactly how that little part over there is going to go. But let's go along here as well. I'm probably going to make this a bit wider. I really think the main road should be like 5 wide. So let's just kind of clear some space like that, right? And then over here, it's going to kind of turn a corner a little bit. Like so. We don't want it to be perfect, right? We want it to be kind of messy. We don't want like these super straight, perfect roads. We want kind of these nicer like curves, if you will. And then it's going to split and go over there in just a minute. But let's start getting the roads figured out. Let's put a bunch of this stuff back. And I think I've got an idea for the blocks that will make sense and look pretty good. And won't be entirely out of place. Do I? There we go. I was going to say, I thought I had a bunch of polished andesite. There we go. So what I'm thinking is our main roadblock is going to be these guys. Okay? Polished stone. Or polished stone. Stone slabs is what I meant to say. This is going to be kind of our main building block. And let's just fill in a good chunk of this road together. This is honestly the most time-consuming part, is just filling in this little bit. But we'll fill in the whole thing with the stone slabs. I'm probably going to have to make more. I think I'm about to run out. Yep, I'm definitely about to run out. That's okay. Let's just make a few more. There we go. And then we'll just kind of bring it over here. And I will explain my reasons for this block palette in a little bit. Okay? Don't worry. We'll get there. So we'll do something like this. Then we'll come back and just kind of randomly in random places throughout the road, wherever we can, we'll come back and we'll mix in a bit of polished andesite. Okay? I think it goes... You know what? I'm not even that worried about losing the stone. I've got so much stone. It's insane. And if I need more, we have a whole Hermit community project that involves massive quantities of stone. So whatever. So we'll mix in a little bit of polished andesite like that, right? Maybe a bit more, honestly. There we go. So these are going to be kind of our two main blocks, the polished andesite and the stone slabs. However, that doesn't look very medieval, right? It does definitely differentiate it a bit from the walls. It's not nearly, it's a different shade. I don't want to use wood and dirt for this part. Some of the more like less traveled roads, I mean, keep in mind, this is the main road here. Some of the less traveled roads, back alleys, things like that will be made of dirt and wood, coarse dirt, stuff like that, but not this part. I don't think it makes sense here. Then what we'll do is I want to actually use a bit of cobblestone, okay? And let's go cobblestone, my inventory. Rip inventory, my friends. Rip inventory. Anyway, so then we'll come in and we'll mix in a bit of cobble, not as much as we did the andesite and the smooth stone. It'll be a little bit less, but we want to mix some of this in here as well. Okay? So something like that, I think. Let's get rid of you. How's that looking? That's not bad. And then, last but not least, to kind of act as the go-between between the polished andesite and the cobblestone, we'll mix in a little bit of regular unpolished andesite. And that kind of ties the whole thing together, I think. Like, I think that is a pretty good road. It'll do. Let's sleep real quick. Do. Sleep. Sleep faster. There we go. That looks pretty good. Maybe here we do one. No, not right there. Just kidding. We'll go like so. Maybe we do one here. Just kind of want to break up. When I mix textures, I have this horrible tendency to do it in such a way that it ends up looking very kind of checkerboard patterned. And it's not intentional. It just kind of works out that way sometimes. That's such is the nature of having random texture variation. It just kind of ends up that way sometimes. But I think that's pretty good. We've got this nice kind of blend. It's definitely lighter overall than the walls, thanks to the stone slabs. It looks like it's paved, which is great. And I think it differentiates itself enough from the walls that we can use it without having it be made out of materials that wouldn't really make sense for the roads within a castle city, okay? Now, the reason that I'm using these specific materials, we have multiple slabs. We have stone slabs and cobblestone slabs. And cobblestone stairs, for that matter, if we need them. I don't think we will. I don't generally want to... In big cities like this, I generally find very steep inclines are not all that great. It's better to have a half-stone slab slope, or like a half-block slope or less. But the nice thing about this, right, is that if we need to mix up textures to do an elevation change like right here, we can still have our texture variation, which is awesome. So then this road could continue out that way. Do you see what I mean? Or like over here, I'm going to have to move some of these shulker boxes. I think they are in my way. Whoa, what? Grass? Where'd you come from? I don't even know. It's okay. Do that. Let's clear you and you out of the way, right? So over here, the road is also going to split, and it's going to kind of go off in this direction, right? So we'll take our stone slabs, kind of do something similar, and then down here, maybe we do something like this. Maybe we swap those out, so you and you. And then keep in mind, this is going to kind of continue through here, right? So this will be our road texture as well. So let me get this all finished up real quick, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So this is kind of our main entranceway, right? It kind of comes in here, and you can curve this way. This will be our main road that leads off. It's probably going to go kind of over here-ish and wrap around. I was going to have it take a hard left right here, but I think I'm going to bring it around a bit more gradually at an angle. And then over here, this one will come off this way and lead to that section. So this, I think, is looking really good. We're going to add some other details in here later. Like, we'll probably have like some sort of little vendor right here, some sort of like a little traveling merchant or street vendor or something, maybe another one over in this corner selling some sort of goods. That'll also help us work some color in here, because for the canopies on their little trading stands, we can use different colors of colored wool or something like that. Plus with whatever goods they're selling, their Their little shacks will probably be made of wool. Their little vending stalls, whatever you'd call them, kiosks, they'd be made out of wood, so that would also help us break up all this gray as well. So don't worry that it looks very gray right now. It's very much like the castle. This was very gray when it started as well, but now we've gotten some colors into it. Don't worry, we'll get there, but we got to get the structure in place first before we can add the detail. But guys, unfortunately, I am out of time for this episode. So my friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.